Your attention, masters, mistresses. All systems functional for the Everything Geek podcast.
Hey, this is Rich McDonald, and I play Commander David Mason on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And you're listening to Everything Geek podcast.
Hey, it's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Plo Koon in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and you're listening to Everything Geek, the podcast.
Hey, it's Leif Gamfert. I played Uncle Ben's killer in The Amazing Spider-Man, and you're listening to the Everything Geek podcast.
Hello, I'm Simon Fisherbecker. You probably know me better as Dorian Moldavar from Doctor Who, or the Fat Friar from Harry Potter. And this is Everything Geek podcast.
Face it, Tiger. You just hit the jackpot with the Everything Geek podcast.
You're listening to the Everything Geek podcast, bringing you interviews from your favorite films and TV shows every week, and all of the latest news. Here's your host, Ruari Williamson.
Hello everyone, you're listening to the Everything Geek podcast. I'm your host, Ruari, and joining me today is a very special guest. We have actor David M. Santana, who is best known for playing numerous First Order Stormtroopers and the First Order Snowtrooper Officer in Star Wars The Force Awakens, Sam in Prince of Freedom, Alex in The Beach, and Nathan in Outside OS. David, how are you?
Hi, hello, Rory. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm really good, and hello to all your listeners today.
It's a pleasure to have you join us today on the podcast.
My pleasure.
So getting right into my questions to you, David, my first question is, how did you decide you wanted to become an actor?
Well, everything started for me when I was a kid. Back home in the Canary Islands, where I came from, in Spain. I grew up in a family full of collectors, and my biggest inspiration in my life as an actor is my grandfather, who showed me his passion, passed on to me his passion for the movies and the world, the beautiful world of cinema. He was a massive collector of movie posters. I think we have the biggest collection of movie posters in Spain at the moment, and well, you can imagine, growing up in this environment obviously makes you feel that there is some magic there, and you really want to discover what it is. And obviously, you have a lot of videos, a lot of books about cinema, a lot of, as I said, movie posters. Everything in your house is related with movies and cinema. So since I was a kid, I started thinking about becoming a filmmaker. And after that, because I realized, well, as a kid, I had a big imagination, let's say, and I started acting while I was watching the movies, let's say Conan, let's say Beverly Hills Cop, let's say Back to the Future, and I started doing what the actors did in the actual movie. So I think everything for me started from that point, but definitely it's thanks to my grandfather, who was and is a massive inspiration for me.
That's really interesting, and if your collection of posters is that big, you should consider making a museum at some point to display them all.
Well, to be honest, as I said before, because I grew up in an environment full of collectors. I'm a collector as well, so this collection now belongs to me, and I have not just movie posters, I have music records, I have action figures, and let's say my flat back home in the Canary Islands is a small museum. Like, well, if you ask my family or my friends, they can tell you what I'm telling you now. It's a small museum, definitely. But yeah, that would be really, really good to show it as a, let's say in a showroom or something like this. Could be really, really good.
There are a lot of people in the world that are very jealous right now.
Well, what can I say? I mean, to be honest, it was thanks to my grandfather, because he has been collecting them. Well, he died with when he was 72. He started collecting them when he was 14. So imagine how big is the collection at the moment. And I am still collecting those posters, and it's a really good hobby. It's a really good hobby, especially if you love movies and you love cinema. It's a fantastic hobby.
If I'm correct, that's 58 years exactly.
That's it. So plus mine, I mean, plus the years I've been collecting them. So it's like, yeah, it's a massive collection. Some people have been trying to buy the collection from us, but definitely is my grandfather's inheritance, and it belongs to my family, and it's I mean, it brings beautiful memories to me and all my family. So it's something we cannot just give to anybody else. It's something that belongs to us, and obviously we will love to show it. No problem at all. But this is a part of every single one of us lives.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. Like, there's just some things that money can't buy, which is what you're saying, really.
You're right. You're right.
So, moving on to my second question, how were you initially cast as one of the core First Order Stormtrooper actors in The Force Awakens?
Well, it's a funny story actually, because I came to London. I moved into London like 3 years ago, with this idea of becoming an actor. Obviously, I finished my degree in Spain as a translator and interpreter of English and German, and I came here to work as a translator, but at the same time to study filmmaking or acting. And I was working in a music store in Oxford Street, and one day suddenly I met a girl from the Canary Islands, from Tenerife. I'm from Gran Canaria, and we realized both of us were from the Canary Islands. We start chatting, and she told me, "Well, do you wanna be an actor?" What a coincidence! The other day, a girl called Kate McLaughlin stopped me on the street. I mean, stopped her on the street, and she asked her if she wants to become an extra, an SA, a supporting artist in major films. Obviously, she said sorry, yes. And this girl, Kate McLaughlin, gave to her a piece of paper with her name and her webpage, sorry. And the company was called Pop. Okay, I apply because I was like, okay, I have nothing to lose. Let's do it. I started working for this company in January 2014 in a film called Everest, just as an extra for 3 days. And after that, I started receiving from them a lot of mails asking me, trying to check my availability and, well, how good I was with, I don't know, playing with fire weapons or swords or martial arts. Do you practice any sport? And obviously, I said yes to every single question they ask. And, well, after that, I realized they wanted to put me forward for a major film for at least 40 days. I have no idea what was the film. The code, like the working title, was AVCO. Obviously, as a Star Wars fan, I knew that the new Star Wars film, it was going to be filmed here in London. I have no idea when exactly, but I have some, rumors coming. And I was like, hey, what happened if this is an availability for Star Wars Episode 7? I wasn't sure. So after all these mails, like 20 mails in 1 month, I was like, it has to be. All this secrecy, all this, it has to be a Star Wars. I had something on my head that told me, David, it is a Star Wars. Control yourself. Try to get it. Please try to get the role and do it. After that, I received a call from a girl called Mila Wilcock, who is another of the workers for Pop, and obviously she confirmed that I have the role, an ongoing role, and I said, okay, perfect. Can I ask you a question? And she said to me, okay, ask your questions. I don't know if I can answer it, but just ask the question. And it was like, AVCO, is this the new Avenger film? And she was like, no, it's not. And I said, whoa, I think, which is the film we are talking about? And she was like, David, I cannot tell you anything. And I was like, that's it. Then I got it done. Star Wars. As soon as I hang out the telephone, I call my mother, and I was, Mom, I cannot tell anyone anything about this, but I'm gonna tell you what's going on. And she was sitting. She was having she was sitting on the car, and I said, I'm gonna be working in a Star Wars. I don't know what is my role, but I'm gonna be working in Star Wars. And literally, she started crying on the other side of the phone. And she was in the Canary Islands. I was calling from here from London, and obviously we get really emotional because if you ask my mother, what's the most important thing for your son? I mean, as a hobby, as a passion, she's gonna tell you that it's Star Wars for my collection, for my films, for my whatever, you know. And she started crying, and I mean, it was like a virus. I started crying as well. I couldn't believe it, and that's how everything started. Okay, last bit. After being confirmed for this film, we had a boot camp, 3 days boot camp, where we were trained as in fire weapons and how to patrol, how to receive some orders, and we were literally 125 future troopers, let's say. And after that, after these 3 days, Paul, our trainer, decided to divide the big team in 3 groups. Group A, Group B, Group C. We were lucky enough to be in the Group A, who was for the body corps. We were called the buddies. We were not stormtroopers because all this secrecy I told you before, and that's why I became one of the core stormtroopers. Apparently, we did our homework good enough to be in the A team. And we were 12 lucky stormtroopers who were every single day on set.
Well, that's a really interesting story.
It is. It's, sorry. I love talking, so you're gonna realize I love talking. So
No.
stop me if you think that we're getting a lot of time. Sorry.
No, that was brilliant. Like, it was great listening to your stories, and I have to confess, I almost teared up as well when you were talking about how emotional it was for you and your mum. Like,
wow,
yeah.
it was definitely really emotional, and my grandmother, who is like a mother for me as well, she was like, wow. I mean, how beautiful is for me or my colleagues, for in my case, for example, because I've been a massive Star Wars fan, how beautiful is to see myself talking to my family, telling them that I'm gonna be part of I'm gonna have a small part in my favorite movie ever. It's like, my God, it's literally a dream come true. It's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. And I also had a second part to that question, which was, did you know when you were cast that you would be playing multiple roles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, no. To be honest with you, I realized I was going to be a stormtrooper on my fitting session. I mean, as soon as I arrive at Pinewood, I have to be waiting I was waiting there for like 30 minutes, and Holly, the AD, and Chloe, 2 girls I really, really admire, because they were like, they were like 2 mothers for us, because they treat us fantastically. And they told me, they asked me, have you got any idea about what you're going to do here today? I was like, well, I think the film is going to be Star Wars, but I don't want to. And they were like, yes, okay, you're right. And anything about your role? Well, I have no idea. I was asking, do you need that I shave my beard? And she was like, Holly was like, no, don't worry about it. You're gonna see that you're gonna have no problem with your beard. You can keep your beard. And as soon as I get into the costume department, I saw one of my colleagues called Liam wearing the armor, and a lot of people from the costume department, sorting all the armor out, and I was like, whoa, I'm gonna be a stormtrooper. To be honest with you, my first feeling was, ow, I cannot show my face. Ah, that's a pity. I mean, I would love to do it, especially when they ask me in the previous mails, have you got any training with the swords? Imagine, my first thought was, hey, am I gonna be a Jedi? No, it's not possible. I mean, maybe Luke Skywalker is training new Jedis, but I wasn't sure. But anyway, in the second minute, I was like, yes, let's do it. I can do it, no problem. Let's go for it. Give me the blaster, give me the helmet. I'm gonna be the best stormtrooper you need. So let's do it. I was really happy, and obviously really shocked because as soon as I get into the costume department, you have posters of the previous films, you have pictures of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo. It's like, my God, what am I doing here? I mean, it's crazy. If these people know, I mean, the fan I am, they're gonna kick my ass out. It's like, wow. Actually, I'm gonna end it up here. When they took my armor off and I finished my fitting session, Chloe asked me, "What do you think? Do you like it?" I was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a massive fan of Star Wars. This is unbelievable." And she was like, whoa. Are you that kind of fan? I said, whoa, take it easy. I'm a professional actor. Don't worry about it. I'm here to work. I'm here to work. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna, mess around or having any problem because I'm a, this kind of fan. I am, but I had to control myself when I was there because I was working, obviously, and thanks to my behavior there, I get 42 days on set. So I'm happy that I control myself when I have the opportunity, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. And well, if you didn't, then we won't be here talking to you. So, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, you clearly have good control.
Yeah, my God. Yes, I did.
Yeah. And you already answered it because my third question was actually, were you a Star Wars fan prior to being cast? But I'll just move right on to my fourth question instead.
Okay.
One of the First Order Stormtroopers you played in The Force Awakens was one of the now already iconic Nope Troopers. Did you have a feeling when filming the scene that it would become instantly iconic?
Well, to be honest with you, I remember that day when we were shooting that scene, like it was yesterday. Was the second time, the second time J.J. Abrams, one of my favorite directors. I'm not saying this because he directed me in Star Wars. I'm saying this because I love Lost, the TV series. I really like Mission Impossible 3. I really like Super 8, and I really like what he had done with Star Trek, because I've never been a massive Star Trek fan until I watched his film, and I thought it was brilliant, both of them. So I was like, this guy is a creator, he's an author, he has fantastic ideas, and being directed by him was like, wow, this is getting better. And he introduced himself. Hi, my name is JJ. I was like, yeah, I think I know you. My name is Dave. How are you? It was a really funny day, to be honest with you. The actor Greg Grunberg was there watching the whole scene while they were shooting it. And I had this feeling, the feeling you were talking about, like, oh, maybe this is going to be great when the film is going to be released. Because I had this feeling because, for example, remember the Stormtrooper that knocked his head out in the previous trilogy? He became, he's now an icon. It's like, oh, he's the Stormtrooper who knocked his head in the Death Star in the first film. It's like, I was thinking about the same. Maybe if they keep this scene in the theatrical version, this is gonna be great. But I have no idea. I wasn't sure until the film was released, and then I saw a meme on internet, and people creating GIFs of the Nope Troopers. They gave us a name, the Nope Troopers, and we were like, wow. we did the scene. I did the scene with my friend Sandeep Mohan, and we were like, texting each other. Man, have you seen this? Is this crazy? I mean, it's wow, it's unbelievable. People is loving this scene, and it's just 2 seconds, but it was. I mean, it was really funny to film, and it's now really special to watch it again and feel that a lot of people is loving that part. I mean, it's loving the film, but loving that part especially. It's like, whoa, I've read on internet, wow, one of the best parts of the film. It's like, whoa, thank you very much. I mean, it's not our idea. We are there. It's not our idea, but it's fantastic. I love that the people is loving it. Definitely. But it was totally unexpected.
Yeah, but it's just such a nice moment of like comic relief as well. Like I actually went to see The Force Awakens at the midnight screening, the only way to see it really, and literally everyone in the cinema I was at burst out laughing at that part, so it was really good.
Man, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I watched the film 6 times now, and every single time I watch it, I mean, there are laughs on that moment. So it's like, okay, I mean, it's not just the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. People is loving it. People is laughing at it. So great. So it worked really good. And apparently, I think it was an idea that just came to the head of J.J. Abrams when we were on set. Oh, guys, actually, I thought like this could be really working really good. Could work really good on the scene. So let's do it. Can we do this? It's easier than you think. Blah 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 blah. And then we made it. So it was good. It was good. We filmed it like let's say 8-9 times, but it was great. It was good to see the faces of the crew, everybody laughing. So it's good. I mean, they thought they were good. I mean, the scene was good. So if it's good for them, it's good for us. And if the fans are loving it, we're loving it as well. Especially if they give us a name, the No Troopers. My God, I'm a No Trooper. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. And I have to ask as well, just because it came to mind, did you know, like, was Adam Driver doing the scene with Kylo Ren at the same time as you were doing that, or was that filmed separately?
He did it before. He did it before we did our bit. He was he was on this. I mean, on the scene when Rey escapes, he was breaking everything. He's a method actor, so he was completely angry when he was doing it, and swearing a little bit, but just to be in the mood. Something, I mean, nothing really. He was swearing and screaming because he was on the moment, and we filmed it afterwards. But we saw some sparks coming out of the room anyway, so they put it together, let's say, but it wasn't at the same time.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. So, moving on to my next question. A lot of the actors who played Stormtroopers in the original films said that the outfit was difficult to wear. Did you find the Stormtrooper or Snowtrooper costumes you wore to be uncomfortable, or were they okay?
Well, again, I cannot lie to you. It was really uncomfortable, really. Especially when you have to run, when you have to wear it for 12 hours, running, filming with a night shift, or, I mean, just a simple thing like it is having lunch was crazy. I mean, crazy. But, again, you're wearing an armor, 12 hours, running between flames at night, really tired. Your shoulders are killing. But man, we are in Star Wars. It's like, okay, this pain is totally worth it. So we have to suffer it to be in this magic film. So it was really uncomfortable. But on the other side, okay, let's do it. No problem. Maybe if it is another movie, I'm gonna say, whoa, I cannot do this more than a week. But as I said, I did it 42 days, so it was like, okay, no problem. After that, for example, in the premiere, in the European premiere here in London, the people ask, how does it feel? I mean, after wearing it in the movie and now in the European premiere, because we were on the red carpet on that day, I was like, I always said the same, man. After 42 days, this is like my second skin. So, I mean, I know how to wear it. I know how to walk with it. I know how to run with it. So, no problem. It became not natural, but something less uncomfortable. Definitely.
It's a really interesting answer.
I fractured my elbow, by the way, in one of the scenes because of the armor, especially because of the helmet. In the Jakku battle, when the film starts, I'm on the right hand side of the screen, and suddenly I kick a pipe from the attressor from the set, and I trip over and I fracture my elbow, and I have like literally a basketball here, but maybe this wasn't going to happen if I don't have the armor, but as a Star Wars fan, I was like, man, I'm all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's do it. I mean, let's keep working. Don't worry about it. And it was like, until the end of the film, I was with the fracture. I mean, with the fracture elbow working. Let's say every single week until November. So this happened in July. So yeah, imagine.
Anything for Star Wars.
That's it. Well, I was thinking, David, if you say something and your elbow, I mean, if you cannot work anymore, obviously you are a stormtrooper. They're gonna replace you, and you don't want to be replaced, right? So let's work. Let's do it. No problem. I was like, yeah, let's go for it. No problem. I remember the costume department people, Paul and Steve, asking me, David, are you okay? I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Inside, I mean, I was like in pain, but I was like, David, if you show you are in pain, maybe you're not going to be here tomorrow, and you don't want that to happen. So I was like, yeah, no problem at all. Let's continue.
So moving on to my next question, what were your favorite or funniest memories from working on The Force Awakens?
Yeah. So then my favorite moment there, right? Whoa, I have a couple of them. First of all, working in my favorite film ever, but my the most beautiful experience I have on set was meeting the man, Harrison Ford. I mean, as a Star Wars fan, if you ask me who is my favorite character from the saga, I'm gonna say Han Solo. Obviously, I mean, it's a cocky. I don't know. It's a really cool character. It's one of the heroes of the story, and I really like his attitude. But not just for this, because Harrison Ford is not just Han Solo. He's Indiana Jones, is Decker from Blade Runner, is Jack Ryan, is The Fugitive, is. So as soon as I saw him, I was like, whoa, this is the moment I have to control myself. My inner fan has to be there for the whole day. Don't let him go. Don't let him to be out. And he was on my right hand side. We were filming in the castle of Maskanata, outside of the castle, and suddenly director screamed, "Cut!" Obviously, you take your helmet off. Every time I was on set, I have to take a look around and see, wow, this is a Star Wars movie. And I was, as I said, taking a look around, and I look on my right, and he was there, like 1 meter, 2 meters from where I was. And I look at him, I look at him again, I look at him again, and he looked at me, and he asked me, "Hey, are you alright, son?" And I said, "Yeah." Yeah, my eyes were like this, so big, like, oh my god, Harrison Ford is talking to me. What can I say? I don't want to disturb him, obviously. And I was like trying to take my glove off my hand, and I was like, hi, hello, pleased to meet you, Mr. Ford. I'm so happy to be here working in this film. And he was like, I'm so happy to, pleased to meet you. And I just left the place. I was walking to towards my friends Peter and Aaron, who are my witness, and I was like, man, have you seen this? And they were like, wow. I mean, they know I am a fan, so they were like, whoa, today's must be, I mean, the biggest, I mean, day of your life. Is the most beautiful day of your life? I was like, yes. I wasn't shocked, to be honest with you. So for me, that day was the most special day I spent on set, definitely. Seeing Carrie Fisher in one of our scenes was beautiful. Talking to John Boyega was great. Obviously, being directed by J.J. Abrams in this scene in Jakku was the first scene he directed me personally. Was fantastic as well. And but you know what's the most important thing to me? I have been working in this film was having this great friends now and colleagues, all the body core, all the stormtroopers. We are good friends. So Peter, Aaron, Neil, Greg, Mark, Sandeep, the other Mark, Samantha. They were fantastic with me on set, and I'm really glad I have. I can say to you that they are my friends now, because we have a big family, thanks to the work we did together in Star Wars. So for me, that was really important as well, having these friends, definitely meeting these people.
I think it's really great that you got to work so closely with all of them, and you're such good friends now as well. Like even attending a few conventions together now.
That's it. It's really, really cool. I mean, if I go to any convention, I don't want to go on my own, to be honest with you. I love to be with the fans. I'm a fan. I love sharing the experience on set with them, talking about everything related with the Star Wars movies, acting, or everything or anything. But being with my colleagues is like, because we have this kind of relationship. Sorry, it's like, it's beautiful. It's like, okay, I want to share this moment with them because they deserve it as well. So it's not just me or just one of them. It's all of us. We're a family. We're a pack.
I think that's a great way to look at it. So my final question for you, David, is: do you have any upcoming acting roles or any other projects that you would like to talk about?
Well, at the moment, I'm studying acting, improving my acting skills in the Identity School of Acting here in London, in central London, near Whitechapel. And we have a showcase in this June. I have no idea, I'm not sure about the dates exactly, but we have a showcase, which is a play in front of the agents and the teachers and the CEO, which is who is Femi, who is the personal agent of John Boyega. So I knew something about this academy thanks to John Boyega, because I've heard, the very first time I heard the name of Identity was on set filming episode 7. So that's why I tried to do an audition. I was lucky enough to pass it. So I'm a student of this academy. And my next project is called Crush. It's a short film, a horror short film, written by my girlfriend, who's is a director and also an actress, Jessica Campos, and we're going to be working on this in May. And what else? Well, I have a short film, a futuristic short film now in pre-production called Outside OS, which is like a prequel of a new video game called Hack OS. And yeah, this is what I'm doing actually. Obviously, I'm always trying to find more auditions through my agent, through myself, and well, things are going really good, to be honest with you. And hopefully I can get more roles in the future. Definitely. So yeah, this is what is coming soon.
Definitely, and I hope the showcase goes well and all of your other future projects go well, and I'll be sure to keep an eye out for all of them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you wanna know everything about what I'm doing at the moment and everything, you can go on to in my webpage, which is davidmsantana.com. I'm there always updating the information if you want to follow my steps in the acting business.
Definitely, I'll be sure to do that. So that's all of my questions for you today, David. It's been a pleasure talking to you on the podcast.
Thank you very much, Rory, for having me. It has been a massive pleasure. It's always good to share these beautiful memories with all the fans and the people who really love this saga, this beautiful saga, because at the end of the day, we are fans as well, so it's great to share it, definitely.
Thank you, and hopefully we can talk to you again at some point.
Definitely. I'll count on that, definitely.
So I'll talk to you again soon then. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, thanks.
Make sure to check out our podcast links. Check out our website, website.everythinggeekpodcast.com/EGP. Check out our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/everythinggeekpodcast. Check out our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/user/everythinggeekcast. Check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/everythinggeekp. Check us out on Instagram, instagram.com/official-everythinggeekpodcast. Check out our Mixcloud profile, www.mixcloud.com/everythinggeekpodcast. Email us at the below email, everythinggeekpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our companion podcast, Everything Geek Comicast, www.facebook.com/everythinggeekcomicast. Make sure to check out the hosts' YouTube channels. Mine is www.youtube.com/user/Separatist Check out David M. Santana's website, www.davidmsantana.com, and check out Channel 113 we broadcast live from, www.channel138.com. So pizza, everyone.
I was in London. I was filming Tulip Fever with Judi Dench. I was playing a butcher, which is a 17th century drama film. And I knew the Star Wars 7, The Force Awakens, was being filmed.
Short around that time is another deleted scene where a speeder was stolen. I think that is known knowledge now, so I can say about that. But I turned up on the day, Peter and myself again, and I was given a line on the day to say.